They say that the journey is more important than the destination when it comes to storytelling, and while I fully agree on that assessment, there is something truly powerful in seeing a hero we've been following through thick and thin throughout their adventure facing the conclusion. It can be difficult, it may be sad, and sometimes bittersweet. And sadly, it can even be horrible. And not in a good way. The reason for saying this is that we're about to have a new conclusion of a story in the gaming world soon, and that will be the story of the Devil May Cry franchise. The entire narrative focuses on the Sons of Sparda, a demonic knight who stood by humankind's side long ago, who married a human woman, getting twins. However, the new game, the 5th installment of the series, is to be the conclusion of the Sparda bloodline. So, I've already talked about Nero and how his story is about walking the fine line between following his father's footsteps or his grandfather's. I think it is about time we talk about the poster boy of Devil May Cry, the demon hunter himself, Dante. So before we head straight into the background of our silver-haired hunk of awesomeness, we first need to get the timeline correct. DMC, like many other games made by madmen, can be really confusing to follow for those who have not played every installment. The first game being far into the career of the protagonist, following up with a game that follows up the story about the controversy surrounding it, then a third one acting like a prequel of the entire franchise, following it up with a fourth one where our hero is old as F. Like seriously, Dante doesn't even kick up the phone anymore.
Wanna know the name?
The timeline goes like this. Devil May Cry 3, the original game, the animated series, proven by Morrison over here. What happened? Did they even try to? And finally, the 4th game. Yes, I did omit the DMC 3 manga as the creator never finished it, and I am certain that some people are going to say that Devil May Cry 2 and 4 are in the wrong order. Well, that used to be true, but Capcom has changed it. Evidence being Capcom producer / hype man Matthew the Gypsy Otoko Walker answering this tweet with, "Yep, we've changed the order. DMC 4 now comes after DMC 2.
Yatta.
Though I will focus only on DMC 1 and the prequel, them being pretty much the entire personal journey, as the others are mostly there to strengthen my points for what I'm about to go through. I mean, Dante isn't even the main character in the 4th one, while the 2nd one kind of doesn't do anything for him.
Don't speak, just die.
Who the hell are you?
Now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's look at the youngest son of Sparda's background. As already stated, Dante is the son of the demon Sparda and the human Eva, while also being the younger twin brother of Virgil. How their family life was, we do not know, as there really isn't much to work with. However, from what we can find is that the brothers might not have fully known about their bloodline, as our hero in DMC 3 states that he doesn't really know what he is.
Who knows? I'm not even sure myself.
However, with a picture of his mother on his desk, and what happens at the end of the prequel, we know that Dante cares a lot about his family. The brothers also get amulets each, and their own swords from their father, though if the importance of said blades were known to the kids, we do not know. What we absolutely have evidence of, though, what can't be disproven in any way, is that both Virgil and our hero loves chocolate.
Virgil, Dante, happy birthday.
Chocolate! Chocolate! Chocolate!
Still, as if it was all just a divine comedy, demons attacked the household after Sparda's death. It's in retribution of the Dark Knight's war against his own kind, leaving the kids motherless and separated. Now, what happens between the 8-year-old Dante to Devil May Cry 3, we have no clue. There are some funny connections to Bayonetta's character Enzo, appearing as an informant in the manga while Dante shows up in the concept art for Bayo, so there's that. Either way, if that's lore or not, Dante eventually becomes a demon hunter, buying up a place to have a shop, though he still isn't sure on what to call it, which leads us to the first game to go through, which is widely regarded to be the best in the series, narratively.
¿Cómo dices?
What is important to know as we move on is that Dante's personal journey is pretty much finished after the 3rd and 1st game. The other areas on the timeline only reinforces the point that I'm about to make. Because in the prequel game, we have an uncaring, almost selfish individual who almost have no reason for killing demons aside from hitting the jackpot in finding the ones behind the murder of his mom.
In this business, a lot of your kind comes around. And if I kill each one that comes, eventually I should hit the jackpot sooner or later.
Though we'll get back to that later. As right now, we can airily see on how Dante is enjoying his pizza, relaxing and chilling. Even surprised that he gets business calls before finding a name for his place. But just as we can see that he is carefree, we also get a taste of how quickly that can vanish. As Arkham, the father of Lady, arrives and mentions that Virgil has given an invitation to come meet him. Obviously, this silences our protagonist. The last time they met was, after all...
It's been a whole year since we last met.
Wait, so the manga is to be considered partially canon? With the invitation accepted, the young son of Sparta is prepared to head off to his first true adventure.
This party's getting crazy. Let's rock.
Kicking massive ass while showing off, the tower named Temene gets erected towards the sky, working as a ritualistic place to open the portal to the demon world with the help of certain items. So, understanding that Virgil is up there, Dante runs towards it, immediately meeting the gatekeeper Cerberus, presenting us with his overconfidence that we see throughout the majority of this game. However, there's a difference between what we see in DMC4 and here, and that's the fact that his foolhardy nature lies more on the edge of callousness, though it is shown better later on his climb. Though happiness and arrogance is not the only thing we get to feast our eyes upon, as youth has a tendency to bring the impatience out of the demon hunter, either through some other demons who can't decide how to deal with Dante's sudden appearance, and of course the loudmouthed Jester.
It bugs the crap out of me when someone talks more than I do.
Oh, whoa. You're not going to shoot me, are you?
Meeting all of these colorful characters still are not enough to change our protagonist. Every demon he comes across he is completely uninterested in, knowing that, even when acting jokingly around them, a battle is about to occur. So how can he grow and develop as an individual? Well, it is all pushed onto one special character, Lady. This young lady has come to Temene for one single purpose, to murder her father. Yet throughout this game she is consistent in showing that she hates all demons equally, and how she views our boy is no different, though that's mainly because on how Dante acts. But it does make him surprised on how she is unwilling to get his help in any capacity. Before we can talk about the best scene between them, we need to look at the other character that have a great impact on our hero's life, and that is of course Virgil. Facing him on the plateau of the tower, they share words masked in joke, sarcasm, and an underlying understanding that they are indeed going to fight. Both of them already taking completely different paths, one looking for vengeance against those who wronged him, whereas the other is looking for absolute power so that he can never get hurt again. During this match, we also gained the knowledge on the opinions of their father from both of them. Virgil shows a mere interest in the powers of the Dark Knight, whereas the youngest seem almost dismissive, not wanting to be associated to the demon, maybe because he wasn't there for his wife. Yet, as they fight under the pale moonlight, and the sky cries white tears, the older brother is more than a match for the overconfident Dante, not even turning into his devil trigger form, which ends the fight with a stab straight through our hero's stomach, leading to the oldest son taking the amulet from the fallen warrior, as it is needed in fulfilling the ritual to get to the demon world. Though as it is a keepsake of their mom, the devil within the unconscious man awakens, giving him a vast pool of strength. However, it is too much for him. Plus, having his own sword gutted through him as well, he falls down, allowing Virgil and Arkham to move on with their plans. Waking up, feeling massive powers flowing through his veins, Dante goes beast mode, killing a massive leviathan, demons, and birds. As he walks through the tower once more, killing demons, gaining devil arms, and just being Dante, he eventually comes across the body of Arkham, seemingly killed by Virgil, and we finally get to the scene that gives a small spark to his change.
Did you kill him?
So what if I did? Ooh, I love a fast woman.
Shut up! He was obsessed with becoming the devil. So much he killed his own wife. For that he butchered innocent people too.
Here we see our hero acting the way all fans enjoy. The vast difference here from how he acts during the fourth game is that in Lady's perspective during all of this, she is looking at the heartless, uncaring devil who finds her and other people's pain unimportant. The way he enjoys every shot being fired from her gun, and the way he looks at her in annoyance as she ruined his coat, rather than the words about her suffering at the hands of the man lying in front of them. Dante has, because of everything that's happened long ago, pushed himself away from other people. Where Virgil went into solitude looking for power, Dante himself went into solitude in search for the ones behind his mother's death, focusing primarily on that. But now?
Well, we have something in common. I have a dysfunctional family too.
And what would you know about family? You're a demon. This is my father. My family. This was all supposed to end by my hand.
He sees someone else's pain in front of him, making him reflect more on not only how he is around people, but also making him think more firmly on the importance of family, at least as a start. It doesn't take him much longer in finding his brother, and again, they immediately start round 2, though this time the Devil Hunters seem a bit more cautious, cause, you know. But before a winner can be found, even when player 3 joined the match, Arkham shows up, exclaiming that having them fight was a part of his plan to weaken them both, to then steal the power of Sparta for himself. So after doing some kick-ass moves for a man at his age, Dante has a new mission to stop the human man who sacrificed his wife to gain dark knowledge. Though he again is surprised by Lady's exclamation of stopping her father herself, leading to an argument that finally makes his eyes see the difference between a human's wish from an individual's soul's plight.
It has nothing to do with me being a human and you being a demon. I'm driven by the inability to forgive him. My soul is screaming, demanding me to kill him. That's enough motivation to keep me going.
This was the final straw for our hero. Seeing this person fighting against impossible odds of which he would most likely fail made him feel empathy towards a human. Though Dante isn't the best when it comes to talk about feelings, so he does things his way, by showing her that if she can't beat him, she cannot succeed against her own father.
Now, get out of my way, or there'll be some consequences.
Fair enough. I wasn't planning on letting any demons live anyway.
And so they fight. Lady versus Dante, clearly a battle that will shake the very foundation of Tammany.
12 seconds later.
I'll take care of him.
Why do you care so much?
Telling his own story to her, the son of Sparta shares to the daughter of Arkham that she made him realize what's important, to take responsibility rather than closing oneself off from the world, allowing them both to see eye to eye. Giving Dante her weapon, a human, and trusting her soul's wish to a demon, who finally knows what path he must take.
Dante. Please. Free my father.
I will, lady.
The path being answered when facing his shadow, represented by his demon self. If there is one thing DMC3 does for Dante as a character, it is that he chooses the path of his father, to be human with a soul, than a devil thirsting for power. Though while our red boy might not be interested in having strength, fighting against someone who has been solely searching for it is hard, as Arkham almost proved superior to the son of Sparta. Finding it within themselves and standing together as they see someone who dares to take on the persona of their father, the two overpowered hybrids go so crazy on him that Arkham may have to be sent to an asylum. Had to get the joke in there somewhere. Showing us that there is still some brotherly love here.
Jackpot.
Sending the bald man back to the human world, where Lady was so kind to finish the job, the twins ends up deeper in the demon world, as Virgil jumps after Force Edge, the sword used by their father. Here we have our final confrontation between the two brothers, the oldest son, who have not strayed away from his path to obtain ultimate power, and the younger one, who throughout his journey went from not giving a damn to fight for what is right, to stop Virgil in unleashing hell upon humanity, even if it means killing him. Virgil being brought down to his knees while our hero stands above in triumph. But this is not a fight where one can walk away happy. Where Dante has chosen to follow the human side of himself, to honor his father's wishes and mother's memory, the oldest son of Sparta does not, deciding on staying in the demon world as it is where he believes he belongs, leaving his younger brother alone yet again.
This place was our father's home.
Meeting Lady back in the human world, looking up at the sky, the clouds keeping them from the light, Dante feels something that one would believe a demon could not emote. Sadness. What he had protected himself from by shielding himself from others now pools open in his heart. But that doesn't mean that he is still alone, as while he may have lost his older brother, he saved humanity and the soul of Lady, making him continue on to find the one behind Eva's death as...
This is what I live for! I'm absolutely crazy about it!
And while they're fighting together, Virgil is alone in the darkness, where he faces the one who is indeed behind the cruel act that set the two sons on so different paths. But as he already had his ass kicked by Dante, it might not go so well jumping straight into that fight. A few years go by and Dante is sitting and chilling once more in his shop, named after his found humanity, Devil May Cry. Thanks, lady. And suddenly a new lady arrives at his doorsteps, going full kung fu on his ass. This lady, named Trish, went to the owner of the shop to tell him that the emperor of the demon world, Mundus, who was once defeated by the Dark Knight Sparta, is about to return in Malay Island, and Dante may be the only one who can stop him. She simply attacked him to see if he had the power to do so. Now, the original DMC is actually pretty short, so I will primarily focus on the most important parts, and how it changes him, while using evidence from the later games. Because where the prequel focuses on him accepting humanity, giving him compassion, the first one is all about his demon side, and how he's even willing to open up to the Hell Dwellers, teaching him the difference between demons and devils. Joining Trish immediately after seeing her face being an exact copy of Ava's, they quickly get to the island where the devil is about to be awakened from his slumber. What is really important to note is that Dante at this time does not know that it was indeed the Emperor who was behind the shattering event all those years ago, accepting this job primarily because he has to stop this threat while also enjoying himself with a good fight here and there. Plus, he does not bring rebellion but force edge. I find that kind of neat, all things considered. Running through the fortress, we do see the light-hearted demon hunter pretty much being himself, joking around with enemies that he faces, showing respect to those who is willing to face him in combat, while still having overconfidence ooze out like a man.
Block off, Featherface!
Or woman.
Flock off, Featherface.
The time has come, and so have I.
Though this all changes when he is challenged by the demon Griffin. The outcome of this fight is obvious, but it is what happens after that is interesting.
I cannot let you live. I serve my master Mundus.
You can't fight with that wound.
Dante is surprised at the dying Griffin not giving up. So much, in fact, that he's telling him to not keep on fighting. But the birds explain that he can't go against his master. And as it screams out for help, the devil does indeed show up, only to execute the demon in front of them. Not only confirming that it was Mundus who was behind Eva's death, but angering Dante at the sight of what just happened.
My mother used to always tell me that my father was a man who fought for the weak. He had courage and a righteous heart. In the name of my father, I will kill Mundus.
The death of a demon, the death of a being that he has decided to hunt for a living, is reinforcing his resolution in beating the Emperor. Before this, Dante fought demons without a second thought, and even when bringing them with him as devil arms, he didn't want to have anything to do with them.
No talking.
But here, we see him show respect to several of their kind, even showing sadness to the death of one of them. And then there is the knight, Nello Angelo, the Dark Knight. This figure acts as a rival of sorts to our hero, and during their first meeting, the demon won against our protagonist, yet had to flee after seeing Dante's amulet. But it is the third fight that we are interested in. The demon hunter telling the demon that he is disappointed in the fact that the knight serves Mundus. But that is not really the case, as the man under the armor is none other than Virgil. Corrupted by the murder of his mother, Virgil's soul is screaming out to be released, and the bravado from earlier is no more there for Dante, only deafening silence. It has all shifted over to resolve. Freeing his brother from the unholy prison, he had to witness his apparent death yet again. Though this allowed the youngest son of Sparta to take Force Edge with the two amulet to transform the weapon into what Arkham, Virgil, and the future Pope wanted, the power of their father. However, the remorse he feels for his brother is still holding something back within. Going to the underworld to face the devil, Dante gets ambushed by none other than Trish, who actually was a pawn created by Mundus. Yet as the fight ended, instead of letting her die, the hunter jumps in to save her life. The very idea of going through the most traumatic experience in his life again would be too much. That being said...
Dante!
Don't come any closer, you devil! You may look like my mother, but you're nowhere close to her. You have no soul. You have the face, but you'll never have her fire!
The devil will always find a way though, using Trish as a way to get through Dante. Quite literally, in fact. But before Mundus can finish off the bloodline of Sparta, Trish does something that makes the son of Ava relive the worst moment in his life.
Trish! Trish! No!
Useless scum.
This is the final straw for him, his remorse forgotten, while his anger and inner devil erupting within, giving him the power that every subhuman was looking for, the full power of Sparta. And thus the legendary battle begins, Dante becoming a demon hunter for this very battle, and now, after reliving what put him on this path in the first place, he proves to be way more than a match for the devil Mundus. Defeating the cruel emperor, Dante stands over the body of Trish, his soul anguished that he, even with all his strength, couldn't protect her just like his mother. Knowing now that demons may not be so different from humans, only needing someone to help them out of darkness.
I should have been the one to fill your dark soul with light!
Leaving his amulet and Force Edge behind, our hero runs off to get out of the exploding island, but...
Surprise, motherfucker!
Cornered by the pissed-off Mundus, Dante resigns himself to the fate of sharing a tomb. He is exhausted, in pain, and lacking of the demonic power he had. But before the final bell can chime, Trish reminds our hero that demons can kinda get through some really brutal stuff alive, giving him her power to finally end his personal vendetta.
Jackpot!
Screaming in anger that he will return, Mundus is sealed off once more. Crying now that the entire ordeal is over, the demon tries to tell Dante of her regret, but before she gets the chance...
Trish, devils never cry.
He tells her that the human quality of crying proves her not to be that of a devil, but more human. And together, they get out of the cursed Malay island, deciding on working together under the now named Devil Never Cry. And then he immediately turned it back, because business-wise it was a horrible decision. Dante may have come from a nice household and family, enjoying the green fields, feeling free from all troubles. But the horror that came from the revenge of Mundus turned everything into an eternal cold winter for them all. Having Dante shut himself off, unwilling to care for others. But as he met those around him, a human who taught him about compassion, and a hell dweller who showed him that there is a big difference between demons and devils. And we can see that through everything that happens later. Both the anime and DMC4 gives us so much, having him show respect to some demons like his father's apprentices, while also giving others second chances, from weak ones like Sid to extremely dangerous ones. He's shown to care about those he hasn't met before, taking the dying Kratos seriously, promising him to fulfill his dying wish, and also allowing Nero to have his brother's sword. Sure, he still enjoys fighting every now and then. He absolutely takes his opponents easy, sometimes even not taking them seriously at all. But he knows when it is required of him to help someone. His personal journey for vengeance may be over, but the link between the sons of Sparta has yet to be concluded. Both brothers took completely different paths, and while they both grew strong, there might still be a chance for the both of them to look up at the clear sky, sharing a moment that was sorely needed when they were much younger. And that is the mind of Dante. Oh yeah, I forgot about DMC too.
Now we can stop Arius's ambition.
Whatever.
Ugh. Hi there, really hope that you enjoyed the video. Sorry about the audio quality. Yeah, if you like what I saw, then please like, subscribe, whatever. I will just like to say this really quickly. Well, aside from I'm sorry for using such a long time making this video, that tomorrow it's my birthday, so I want to stream Devil May Cry 5 because I haven't played it yet. And I've been able to pretty much get away from every single spoiler so far because I've been so focused on this video. I've seen like 1 or 2 thumbnails on YouTube which kind of spoiled a bit, but not anything that ruined the experience for me. So yeah, if you're interested in watching that tomorrow, link in the description to my Twitch channel. I think I have an extension there that will give you the exact time when I will start in your time period. But if not, then please go to my Twitter, which again, channel in the description, where you can follow me and I will update you. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed everything. Bye!